The driver is, even at 80 miles an hour and 50 feet away, obviously a guy, but like, big fancy glasses, big like Dolly Parton blonde wig, like lipstick, all the makeup with like a kind of a fuzzy like white sweater with like balloons, like actual like birthday party balloons just stuffed in to give him some nice cleavage. And he was just like, it's one of my favorite things in the whole world are road trips. And I've kind of built my artistic career around having the freedom to do road trips. And I'm very fortunate to do about 50 to 80,000 miles a year. In all those miles, you can only imagine the kind of funny things that you see going down the road. And I can't remember 1% of them, but here's just a few funny ones that I've come across in the last few years. One day, right here outside of Atlanta, I'm riding up the highway, and riding a motorcycle, you tend to notice more things. I think you got less block in your view. You're kind of aware of hazards, things like that. And up the road from me, I see some contraption going down the road. It's blue and kind of weird shape. It's not really a car. And I get the cast and I roll up. And of all the crazy things I've seen on the road, this might be the craziest. It is a big Honda Goldwing motorcycle. The ones with the big fairings and the windshield and the trunk and all that kind of stuff. It's a Goldwing motorcycle that has a sidecar with a blue bubble top on it with two kids in the sidecar pulling a trailer with a mule in it. The mule is wearing goggles. The whole trailer, the sidecar, the motorcycle, everybody's wearing blue. The motorcycle is blue. The bubble top is blue. And over the entire thing is airbrushed all these different Bible scenes. And on the side of the trailer, it said, Nestor, the Bible Mule. There's something you don't see every day. And his lips kind of in the wind, and he's just, goggles on. It's kind of an open top, like a little single wide, mule trailer. And he's kind of got like a convertible, and he's just kind of hanging out, and they're just blowing down the highway. And I'm thinking, like, what is up with this? Again, this is years ago. This is before the internet. So I get back. Well, there's the internet, excuse me. There's the internet, but not like modern Google, So I get back to my office, and I just immediately look up, Nestor the Bible Mule. And I think it was Nestor. It's been a long time, but at the time, it was like there was this one little bitty, like just a little, in the early days of the internet, this little homepage, and he was this mule, and they would go to like revivals and things like that, and he could like stomp out the commandment or like which Bible verse, and they had trained him to do this. Anyway, this whole religious family thing going down the road, so that was pretty funny. Another interesting thing on the road, I'm in out west this time on I-5, kind of around Mount Shasta, Northern California, Oregon, that area. And I'm just flying down the highway. I had this Lincoln rental car that I was just wailing on. And as I'm going down the highway, I'm heading south, and I see a bass boat on a trailer. And you don't see a lot of bass boats in the West Coast. That's a very East Coast kind of thing. It's a bass boat, the typical sparkly paint, all that kind of stuff put on bass boats, being towed by like a limo, like an 80s Lincoln, like prom limo, pulling a bass boat. Now that's a weird combo anyway. So this is kind of funny. As I roll past the driver, like windows down, arms out the window, the driver is, even at 80 miles an hour and 50 feet away, obviously a guy, but like, big fancy glasses, big like Dolly Parton blonde wig, like lipstick, all the makeup with like a kind of a fuzzy like white sweater with like balloons, like actual like birthday party balloons just stuffed in to give him some nice cleavage. And he was just like, I was just thinking like, again, like it's all these scenarios. You see it and you kind of like reverse engineer it. Like, where's he going? Did he lose a bet? Does he do this for parties? Do you get this very obvious guy dressed as a girl pulling a bass boat with a limo? Is there going to be a fishing tournament? Was there a costume contest? Like, of course I just motored on. I had to catch a flight somewhere, but still even years later, I'm just like, what was he doing? Other times, the things you see on the road maybe aren't as funny or positive, but still interesting to see. Different day, I'm on my motorcycle and I'm riding along, and again, as a safety, you tend to pay attention to the other cars a little more. What's going on. You kind of look for the driver's head. People tend to look where they're going. Are they going to change lanes, whatnot? Up in the road in the car in front of me, like there is something going down in the car. I could see arms moving and just motion, and like something's happening. Okay, it's kind of weird. As I drive by, there's a guy driving. This is like a young couple. I mean, I'm probably, I don't know, in my 30s at this point. They're a young couple. They're probably at college age. The guy's driving. He's kind of head down, kind of driving away. There's a girl in the passenger seat, like seatbelt off. She's like on her knees, like facing him, and she is wearing him out in sign language. Like I don't know what he did, but she is fired up. I mean, I can't, forgive me, I don't know the signs, but she is letting him have it. And he's immediately, sort of handicapped by the fact that he's having to drive the car. So like, unless he like uses, like, you can't really, I don't know how to like retort, with sign language. And you got two hands on the wheels, you're obviously at a disadvantage because you can't really defend yourself and safely drive the car. So the poor guy's just having to take it. And this went on for 10 miles. I mean, she is wearing him out. And I was like, dude, what did you do quietly that made her that angry? Like, what happened? Different time, I'm out on the road, and similar vein of just seeing things going down in cars. I'm driving along, and I see like commotion in the car in front of me. And again, it's kind of a cold day out, but the sun's out though. It's a beautiful day, a little chilly, but I'm just driving along and just cruising, having a great day. And as I coast up on this car, I can see like commotion in the car. As I get a little closer, it's a four-door car. There is a lady in the back seat, young lady, crying sadly, nursing a baby, while a much older lady is in the front seat, like, again, seatbelt off, turned around backwards, like kneeling in the seat, like facing backwards. She has a Bible in one hand, and it's just like fire and brimstone, just letting this poor girl have it. I'm thinking, God, that's awful. I hate to be in that car. And as I kind of cruise past, it's kind of a older guy driving the car, presumably the husband of the lady that's dispensing the fire and brimstone, and he just kind of, as I go past, he just kind of slowly turns his hand. He doesn't really look at me, but just more like looks at the motorcycle. And I got the helmet on. There's nobody with me, and I'm just out doing my thing, obviously. And there was this sort of heartbreaking look in his face, like he just, like you can tell he just wanted to be on a motorcycle somewhere else other than in that car, because the lady, the level of that lady was dispensing the fire and brimstone. I could only assume he was next or had been the recipient at times. And he just kind of had that look of just like, I could be on a motorcycle and not be in this car. Not a funny one, but still a interesting thing to be going down in a car. You don't see a lot of backwards preaching against new mothers in cars. Probably one of the funnier ones, though, was first time I drove my Scout across country. Now I have an old International Harvester Scout with a factory type diesel in it, which travels at the speed of smell. This truck is slow on another level. I'm in somewhere, Arizona, New Mexico, somewhere in Southwest, and plodding my way up a hill, and there's been this little Dodge, like a little K car, little Chrysler K cars, little K car behind me. And it's kind of tailgate me, and I understand that. I'm going slow, so I'm like over like one wheel in the median, just to kind of let people go over. It didn't have hazard lights, but if it did, they'd have been on. And this car followed me for a while. Finally, it just had it, and just engine to the floor, engine just screaming, just goes flying around me, going up this hill on a double yellow. Up this hill, as I go past, it was 4 nuns in a Chrysler K car that were just like, this guy, I can't stand it any longer. Like, what did I do to make nuns, who you would assume would be the most patient, graceful people in the world? She just couldn't handle it anymore. Sister Margaret, Sister Ethel, whatever. I'm passing this guy in a double yellow. I'll ask God's forgiveness later. I cannot follow this stinky slow truck any longer.
This month, the VINwiki content is brought to you by Auto Tempest. Auto Tempest is the most powerful way to shop for your next car because they compile all the cars from all the listing sites all over the internet into one place for a quick, easy, and very, very powerful searching tool. We love them for their ongoing support of VINwiki, but it's how I find most of my cars because it allows me to go to all the sites at the same time. I'm not re-entering search criteria, and then I get to see where that car stacks up against all of them that are out there for sale. They've just added an additional feature that I love where you can see how the asking price of each car has changed over time since it was first listed. So if the car's been out there for months and they've kept marking it down, you know that it's time for some more shrewd negotiation to get the best deal possible. And that's what it's really all about, being a tool in your pocket to get you to the best car purchase outcome that's possible. So whether it's your dream car, the next daily driver, project, whatever it is, Auto Tempest is the way to find it. So check them out now at the link in the description below to thank them for their support of VINwiki and find your next car on Auto Tempest.